What's up YouTube? Shamo Aquatics here, bringing you guys another update on my 240 gallon planted community aquarium. So I'm just gonna get straight to the biggest update first. The first update is that I did end up losing one of my dwarf neon rainbows. So I was just down to one left. And at first I was like, well, that's it. Once this last loner passes away, I'm not going to be adding any more. No more dwarf neons. But then, after thinking about it, I realized, like, okay, that dwarf neon rainbow is going to be alone in there for easily a good 2 more years, possibly. So I kind of felt bad, and I relented. And I picked up 3 more, so he won't be all alone for possibly the next 2 or 3 years. I don't know which one he is. They all look the same. But yeah, got a few more, so now he's not completely alone. They don't school with the boesemani and the turquoise rainbows, by the way. So yeah, they really were alone. But I do think it is good to be open and honest about losing fish. It is part of the hobby. A lot of YouTubers will show off a fish and then all of a sudden that fish completely vanishes and you never see it again because it probably died and they didn't want to be open and honest about it. Now for me, I am open and honest. Like if I'm watching a YouTube live stream with one of the streamers that I like regularly watch on FishTube, I will say like, oh yeah, I lost a dwarf neon rainbow or whatever. But I usually won't find it to be worth posting about. If like, let's say I lose like I know this is gonna sound bad, but if I lose like an insignificant little fish, like a cory or a serpae tetra or whatever, like I just don't feel the need to post about it, just because like in my mind, I'm probably thinking that people are gonna be watching and they're gonna think, oh, you lost a serpae tetra. Who cares? It's just a serpae tetra. That's why I'm kind of like not feeling up to posting about it, because it does happen periodically. Like you lose a little fish here and there. It's part of the hobby. But do I really need to be posting about losing like a little serpae tetra or whatever? Now, if I lost the whole school, that would be different. But one thing I need to point out, because you guys probably haven't seen him in a long time and probably wondering what happened to him. My striped raphael catfish is still alive and well. It's just that it's not like he died and I just never spoke of him again. No, he's still in there. The thing is, he hides so well. You could probably see his tail sticking out from under that wood if these roselines will stop photobombing. But right there, you can see his tail. He's still alive and doing well. It's just that you guys most likely will never see him again on video because he hides. And I'm not going to go in there and disturb him just so you guys can see him. I'm going to leave him be. He is a striped raphael catfish. He has rights. He can hide if he chooses to. But yeah, anyway. Now, obviously, if I were to lose one of my large roseline sharks, aka Denison barbs, or one of my boesemani rainbows, or my gold gourami, or if I were to lose my redtail shark, wherever he is, like, there he is. If I were to lose one of those fish, yeah, I'd post about it, and I'd be pretty pissed off about it. Like, but yeah, it's different, you know? I don't feel the need to go out and update the world of how I lost a little serpae tetra. But yeah, I'll tell people about it on the live streams that I watch and all that. I don't like try to hide it purposely. But also, another thing I wanted to talk about is the stupid microbubbles that I've been battling with for a while. These microbubbles are the reason why I don't really film towards the top of my tank for the most part. Is because those stupid microbubbles that are coming out of my FX6 give like the top section of this tank that slight hazy look. It's mostly up in this upper left corner where it's really bad, but some of it, you probably can't see it on camera like over here, But those microbubbles are coming out of that FX6 and circulating around the tank. And it drives me absolutely insane. So next weekend, I'm going to get in that FX6 and I'm going to mess with it a bit to see if that helps the microbubble situation, because I tried shortening the intake hose to see if that helps because it was too long. Nope, that didn't solve the problem. So yeah, I'm going to have to go in there, open it up, clean it a little bit, and then do something different with the interior of that filter because I am sick of these microbubbles. But yeah, another reason I also don't like filming towards the top of the tank is because like I guess there's like a shadow or whatever where the light is not hitting the fish directly. So this gold gourami here, you can't really see his color all that well when he's hanging out up here. So that's another reason why I mostly film down here for the most part. You can only really see the fish's color when they hang out towards the top as if they're directly under this light, because this light is going straight across while these ones are just positioned normally. Because I had to do something with that little gap there. And another thing is that I did think about giving away some of these roseline sharks, aka denison barbs, to my friend who just set up the 135-gallon tank at his house. So to get his numbers up to 9 roselines, because he only has 6 at the moment. So I thought about giving him a few of mine because he wants some big ones, because mine are way bigger than his. But I ultimately decided against it because, like I've always said, I absolutely refuse to go in here and even attempt to catch these fish. Number one, they are water rockets. They are very fast, very difficult to catch. Number two, they can panic when you're trying to catch them. And I'm talking to the point where they will dart off and smack their heads against the glass and die, or jump out of the tank. And I don't want to risk that. And number three is the fact that I'd be trying to avoid catching certain ones, because there's some that I would be willing to part with, but I absolutely refuse to get rid of my big 6.5 incher. And I refuse to get rid of this one and this one, but you get the picture. There's certain ones that I definitely don't want to get rid of. I'd probably give them like a few of my medium-sized ones, if anything. But the thing is, when I'm in there trying to catch certain ones, the whole school moves together when I'm in the tank and all that, and they're trying to get away. And in the process of trying to catch certain ones, one of the ones I don't want to catch could end up potentially panicking and smacking its head against the glass and killing itself in the process of me trying to catch other ones. So it's just a risk I don't want to take. And also, when it comes to these fish, the roseline sharks, aka denison barbs, I have to say both names because so many people try to correct me, be like, that's not a roseline shark, that's a denison barb. They have multiple different names, bro. But yeah, in the process of trying to catch when it comes to these fish, they don't handle being moved very well once they hit that like 4.5, 5 inch mark. Once they get bigger than 4 inches, they do not handle being moved very well. They sometimes die during transit or shortly after being moved. So it's just too risky. And boy, I've had people ask me if I'd be willing to ship them some. And that is a big no-no when it comes to these fish after they reach a certain size. At this size, like this one right here is probably a good like just under 5 inches. Shipping them would be absolutely detrimental. Like it's almost a guarantee that at this size they would die during shipment. So that's a no-go for me. But I kind of do like the look of having a big super school of them. And so I'm just pretty much waiting for the school to like age out naturally. They'll live the rest of their lives in here. But a few days ago, my friend asked me if he could have my big 6.5 inch one. And I said, hell no. You could probably have some of these medium-sized ones, but at the end of the day, I decided I'm not even going to attempt to go in there and catch any. So, like I said, I also like the look of the big super school of them because nobody else keeps this many. But in the future, once they've aged out, I'm probably going to keep like 12 to 15 of them, and that's it. But yeah, in the future, I would like to keep more variety in here, like more rainbow fish, excuse me, and other varieties of rainbows as well. I just don't have the space right now. And the problem with being a good fish keeper who takes proper care of his fish, deaths don't happen that often, so it's going to be quite a while before some real estate opens up in here. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that I've been having this issue too, is for some reason, my fish only want to hang out from over here to this section out. They only want to hang out over here. For some reason, hardly any of my fish ever want to hang out on the left side of the tank. So the tank already looks crowded as it is, but dang, like when they all congregate in these 2/3 section of the tank, it looks even more crowded. But I tried feeding over there, and man, they still refuse to hang out over here. Sorry, I was having camera trouble. That's why I kind of hesitated for a second. Yeah, for some reason, they just still do not want to hang out over here, despite me feeding over here more often. The only reason they're even coming over here now is because I'm standing over here. Watch how they follow me around. See? I'm the food provider. That's why they follow me. But yeah, for some reason, none of them want to hang out over here. So I've come to the conclusion that it's probably the simple fact that they just don't like the flow coming out of that FX6. But what can we do? The tank needs that FX6. So if they decide they want to all crowd up in this 5-foot section of my 8-foot tank, that's on them. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for today's update. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video after I get some of these close-up shots. Shadow.